The pot from 70s where plants were grown in natural habitat like tropics, their content of THC vis-a-vis CBD, tetrahydrocannabinol versus cannabidiol, was in the tune of 2 to 1 or sometimes even 1 to 1, right? So the CBD protects the brain from the long-term damage of THC, whereas the pot available now in the streets anyways, and appears to be the case even in the licensed products manufactured by licensed producers, the THC content is very high, to the tune of 20 to 30%, with very low levels of CBD.
So a lot of young people, when they talk about pot, they say it's organic, it's natural. So you're saying that the pot that people are smoking today isn't as natural as they think it is?
Yes, it is basically engineered product by companies in artificial environments through genetic engineering techniques. I would like to characterize THC as the bad cannabis and CBD as the good cannabis, good part of the cannabis, because CBD has been shown to be helpful. Actually, it has been shown to help children with seizure disorders, some kinds of seizure disorders. It is being researched even in psychotic disorders as a treatment. And we know that CBD has anti-anxiety effect. That's why some people feel they are relaxed when they smoke. But unfortunately, the available cannabis in the streets and what is consumed more has very high level of THC, which is the mind-altering part of the cannabis, which is I would call as a bad cannabis.
So young people who want to take pot, what would you want to tell them?
I would like to think about future performance, future life. If they want to be a social cannabis smoker later in life, they should delay use of cannabis onset as much as possible, well into late teens, if ideally in early 20s. Cannabis, and it damages the brain development. So it affects the parts of the brain which are involved in reasoning, judgment, memory, learning. Early onset cannabis use, along with persistent cannabis use, leads to drop in IQ points up to the level of 6 points. That's quite a significant drop, and it also affects functioning. It's not just the drop in some tests in the lab, but it also appears to translate in day-to-day life, like they drop out of school, life achievement reduces, and quality of life overall comes down.
Can a young person inadvertently trigger a mental illness like psychosis or schizophrenia by taking pot?
Yeah, that's a good chance. The research shows that at a population level, if the cannabis use increases, the risk of psychosis increases in that population. But who in that population will develop that, we don't know yet. So family history of mental illness, personal history of mental illness suggests that they are at higher risk for developing psychosis.
So overall, if you're speaking to young patients, what is your message about taking pot?
The harmful effects of marijuana has been underemphasized in the current public space, and so young people can get confused because they hear that government is approving, it's legal, adults smoke, and people say that it doesn't cause long-term problems because a lot of people who smoked in 70s are doing okay, so they get confused messages. So it's important that they hear messages consistently from role models, public figures, government authorities, teachers and doctors, and everyone who has social responsibility, that the cannabis available now is not the cannabis which was available back in the day. It's much more toxic and damaging to the developing brain.